All right, welcome back to episode number 3. I was calling it Street Fighter until these two guys told me that nobody plays Street Fighter, so I don't know what to call it anymore. But welcome to episode number 3. You are going to notice we have a guest with us. That is another cousin of ours, Tony, aka Tony Kaboom, joining us all the way from his across the street from my house. So it's not that far. But anyways, we are going to be talking about some interesting, at least I thought were interesting articles, but apparently Buzzkills over here might not be interesting anymore. And apparently I don't know where to get the news from video game news. And you would think that getting news from a website that has the word games in it would be good, but apparently not. So anyways, bear with us. We got some exciting things to talk about today. So we're going to jump into the first one. What do you guys want to talk about first? Are we starting off with the Forge mode or not?
Yeah, we can talk Halo.
All right,
Couple
let's
different Halo topics, right?
yeah, we got 3 Halo topics, so let's start with the first one. Let's kick off with the unmasking of the Chief. What do you guys think about this?
Do it.
Do it? I was reading through the article and it's saying basically like they're in that 50-50 camp, right? Half the people want to see and the other half just don't.
Well, we already know his name's John and he's white. Do it. I don't care. It's not gonna. He's not gonna pull a Mandalorian on me, you know.
That was in Mando. That was really interesting, right? I wasn't expecting that to ever happen.
Yeah.
Nice little Mandalorian spoiler. All right.
Season 1.
I know season 1. We're on
Episode
season
4.
2.
It's been a while since I've seen that show.
Season 2.5 now.
All right, this is gaming.
The
not
Book of
TV.
Boba Fett was technically Mando 2.5. But anyways, yeah, I can't remember because it's been a while since I played Halo. But I thought that they gave us a glimpse of the Chief in one of the Halo games.
Nope, never. Wait.
Yeah, they do. At
Halo
the end of
4.
Halo 4, they
Yeah.
show like him taking off his mask. They show it to be some like white guy, older, kind of already
Blue-eyed, right?
white haired type. Like he's already like mid-50s or so, like something like that.
He's got crow's feet going on. He looks old, but I mean, doesn't. If you look at the image, it's all dark and you only see his eyes. So
So the part I don't get though is like I don't understand why this would be a big deal because unlike like the Marvel movies where they try to keep the cast and everything all super secret, we already know who the actor is. Wouldn't it just be assumed that the dude's gonna take off his helmet at some point?
what kind of haircut does he have, Alex?
I don't know.
I'm pretty sure it's a bald guy. It was like that main guy from Den of Thieves with 50 Cent. That's if you guys ever watched that.
Oh, that's the guy playing Halo, Master Chief.
Yeah, he's the guy playing
Oh.
Sergeant John. I mean, for the TV show, I guess it's fine. It's standalone. It's already gonna have its own story. It's kind of grabbing pieces from different lore or different parts of Halo. It's not even like an actual Halo story. It's just different parts of like
Now,
stories from everywhere.
do you think they're gonna do it though, like in the Mandalorian, where they kind of just they would give teasers, right? So Mando would take off the helmet because they established early on in the show that Mando doesn't take off his helmet. So for the video game community playing Halo since '01, never seen the Chief's helmet come off other than that one glimpse. Do you
Yeah.
think they'll like tease it? Like, do you
Well,
think they'll build it into a storyline?
in
And then
Halo, it's
do
not
like,
a. Yeah, in Halo, it's not a Spartan culture not to take off your helmet. It's just something that they did for the player, so we can be the Master Chief. You know what I mean? So
so then,
we
do you
can.
think
Mhm.
do you think they'll come right out of the gate then just revealing him, or do you
Yeah,
think
I think it's either they like immediately just like, all right, this is the chief, and he'll have his helmet on. Sometimes he won't, or it's kind of like Mandalorian, where he'll just take it off here and there for like one scene or something.
Or mid battle, it falls off, and then we're gonna have the Halo music.
Well, regardless, I guess for me it doesn't really matter too much because it's already going to be the TV show. But it'd be interesting if they try to keep the storyline, not the storyline, but just the truth of how it was in the game, where you don't know who this mystery character is, and for me, I think I would prefer the reveal at the end of the series, or at least the season, than to come out of the gate swinging.
Well, if you remember Halo 4, was it the one when he showed him as a kid, and you can see.
I think like in the trailers they did have like Spartan training stuff like that, like leading up to the game. I don't think they had it in the actual game.
And you see John. I mean, you see his brown hair and blue eyes, little white kid. So, I mean, we know who he is. It's no secret. We don't know how he looks like old.
Yeah. All right, next topic on Halo. We got a leak about Halo Infinite community goes nuts over leaked Forge mode. What do you guys think of that? I
I
haven't
mean,
played Forge since 2007.
Forge is pretty cool. It's a staple of all Halo since it came out Halo 3. But
Yeah, Halo 3.
I
Yep.
think I think it's not even like, oh my gosh, they have Forge mode. It's like, oh my gosh, finally, here's our Forge mode. It's kind of a thing
Yeah.
we need.
Pretty much the Halo
Outside.
community at this point just like upset that like the lack of content. Like we got like one update like in December after the game launched and there hasn't been anything since. And so I mean like I mentioned earlier, like a bunch of stuff's been data mined. Apparently like there's 20 potential new maps that are like available like in the game already, just
Oh
haven't
wow.
been released. But I
Hey man,
mean,
writing software is hard, especially with the depth of these maps now and the number of polygons they're pushing.
Question
right.
for Tony: Blood Gulch in there?
I didn't see through the maps myself. I never like looking through data mine stuff like that because like leaks for anything. Sometimes like how like Alex says they're just like maps that were just used for testing or whatever. You never know if they're actually going to make it into the final game.
Hmm.
But I mean, I'd imagine so. I think I saw that there's a few lists of like Halo 5 maps that are going to be brought back into the game. And I guess with
Hmm.
this Halo Infinite, like the playstyle kind of works with those maps. But
Do you guys know they're adding any new features or anything to this Forge mode?
I want to say like before the game even launched, they'd like shown like some like 30 minutes or so footage of it, and it was like, especially because the game was also made for PC, like the functionality of it working on PC primarily is going to be like insane. And so I do know that they added like a bunch of new like just textures and like just different things to mess with. So yeah, I'd imagine like this Forge mode will probably be the best. It's just the fact that it wasn't like available like during launch.
Yeah. Listen to this one. Where Halo Infinite's apparent leaked Forge mode really seems to shine is the option to tweak the tiniest of details. You can customize the paint jobs of vehicles from a swatch showing dozens of colors.
I mean, the thing is too, like it's something to look excited or like look forward to, but a bunch of like that was promised for Halo Infinite was changed like just before like the drop. So everything that we saw earlier could be different now. Like I mean, every skin now is like behind a paywall, so I doubt like Forge would be something like that drastic, but
Yeah.
it could be something like, oh, you're only limited to like actually just a certain
Basic.
amount of like maps or objects to like play with on
Unless you start paying more money.
Yeah, they showed
potentially.
us skins and they're like, oh, you can get these skins by doing events, but you get like two skins from the event, and during the event you can buy skins.
The original battle pass was supposed to be 125 levels, and they dropped it down to 100, and they made like those extra 25 different like tiers. Just like you have to buy them basically, like
Wow, I
elsewhere
didn't
throughout
know
the whole
that.
shop.
Wow.
Yeah, so I mean, I'd imagine it's like pressure from the higher ups of Microsoft trying to, since Halo went free to play, like all right, well now we got to make money, so let's sell anything we can. So
That makes
Yeah.
sense, right? So you think they're leaving that the DNA that made Halo so good? It looks like they're following more of a Fortnite style.
Yeah, but Fortnite does it way better. I feel like Fortnite can pull out of any single category they want to. Oh, Marvel, got it. DC,
God.
cool. Halo can only pull from Halo. So we got, oh, you want old Halo skins? Here they are. Pay for them. So
So
it's
then, do you
kind of
think this is
hard.
going to backfire on 343 and Microsoft? Like, do you think the
No,
community? You think the community will pay for this extra stuff?
I've been paying.
I think the reason why there hasn't been, well, they have addressed it a bit and they have
We all
made
don't
some
have
changes.
rich parents like you, Danny.
No, it's called having a job.
No, they did like slightly adjust it. Like some skins used to be like $10, now they're only like 7. So like they've been listening. It's not drastic like how it should be, but I mean they've been listening to the community because it was such a like vital part of Halo, the customization, that the fact that they made everything like you had to pay for it, they did really like want to like address that part. So
Yeah,
changes
there's
have been made, not enough though, for sure.
Oh man, I just hearing this is not making me want to jump back into Halo though. I'll
what's
probably just
free.
pull out my.
I mean, you suck at multiplayer, so I mean, you can play the campaigns and
Hey, I don't
it'll be
have
fun.
like the little crosshairs taped onto my screen, Tony.
Yeah, I don't
Whoa.
either. I've been seeing people like do that on TikTok, and it's
I
like
know.
just aim like with your crosshair that
Wow.
it's given.
I think I saw some guy take this like 85-inch TV that he has, and he like put a rubber
Yeah,
band.
2 rubber bands and then centered it. Yeah, I've seen people put like tape right in the center. Like, I know there's actual like attachment you can buy like from like a third party that will like put like a laser in your center of your monitor. It's like,
Wow.
You gotta do what it takes when you're a noob, man. Or we just revert to my default winning, which is rockets.
I just like how
yeah.
Tony stared right into the camera and shook his head. Jeez.
Notable moments of the podcast. All right, let's wrap this one up here on Halo. Apparently, this game sucks. Then, from what
Nah, there's a lot to look forward to, but it's been pretty stale, and it's already been like a huge decline in numbers and players. Like I think I saw like recently it was already like number 88 on Steam. Like that's how many like the player base was like drastically low from launch.
But
so,
the game
so you
is
gotta,
fun, though.
but you gotta wonder, okay, the budget that Microsoft has, the popularity and the budget that 343 has, right? And then you got things like the whole Master Chief Collection took what, years for them to finally fix it?
Yeah, it was like 5 years after launch, probably.
And it's good now.
Was Halo 5 any good?
Yeah, for Halo 5, like it came out like it was a polished game. The advanced movement, like it was divisive in the community because people want like a Halo 3 original type of battle royale type, not battle royale, but what is it, like arena shooter. And so
Yeah.
like this one with like the different mechanics like really made it not Halo, but for the people that did enjoy it, like it worked well.
So I think I'm staying pure, right? Because I haven't played anything beyond ODST. And I think ODST was already like pushing it too far.
Yeah, you can feel. I remember when Halo 5 came out, I had invited 2 of my friends to come over, and as soon as they finished downloading the stupid update, we tried to play. There was no split screen. that was
You know, I
Yeah.
try to do that too. So fun fact for me trying to play my Halo 5, right? Because I have it on the Xbox One, and so I go to turn on my Xbox, need an update, so I update it. I bricked it because I hadn't updated my Xbox One in like a year or two, right? Spent an hour. Well, so I spent an hour doing the update, then I spent an hour unbricking it, then I spent an hour reinstalling the update, right? Then I pop in the game, ready to play. I spent an hour installing the game. After that, I turn on the game after it's been installed, ready to play. Got to do the updates.
Yep.
So I'm in 5 hours into this thing, and a lapse of 2 days, and then Isaac and I find out we can't do split screen. It's like I wish I would have known this 5 hours before.
That was a bummer. I remember that.
Yeah. Why do you think they got
along with Forge, that's what's gonna be coming too in Halo in this Halo
Split
update?
screen's not there
Because
yet.
right now, like co-op and split screen isn't even like available.
Wait. You're telling me that Halo Infinite right now doesn't have co-op? I mean, split screen?
Nope.
I'm pretty sure like on launch, like no games ever have split screen anymore.
How
It's
are you
just like
supposed to-
something that's not developed.
They're shooting for the PC gamers now. I'm not going to share my 27-inch with my wife.
Yeah, the whole like garage culture is kind of like died out. Everyone has their own setups. Everyone has their own Xboxes. Everyone has
Do
their own
people
monitors and
seriously
stuff
not
like
play
that.
split screen though? Is
Yeah.
that a thing? Because
There's
that's the
no-
only way I play today.
No more split screen, man.
Nah, that's not a thing. I
You
haven't
want
played
to
split
play
screen.
split screen? Go put Double Dash on your GameCube.
See, this is why I'm just sticking to the originals. This is like okay. Well, anyways, any other problems then with Infinite? Apparently, updates are coming.
I mean, the funny thing that I saw, like I think it was trending like earlier this week or last week, was Battlefield's launch.
Oh yeah.
Like the developers or like the CEO like of I forget who the developer is, but like they had mentioned that like
no.
which game?
of Battlefield 2042.
Isn't that's like Treyarch or something? No,
No,
that's an
no,
EA
Nah,
title,
it's not
no?
Treyarch. Yeah, it's EA.
Oh
I don't even know if
yeah.
it's EA anymore.
Dice. It's Dice.
DICE, yeah. One of the higher ups at DICE like mentioned that one of the problems with the launch of Battlefield was the fact that the launch of Halo did so well, and so it killed their game because everyone just jumped ship to Halo.
But their
And
game
so like they
sucks.
literally like the fact that their game had so many problems like wasn't like as a big of a concern as the fact that Halo was such a good game that it like made everyone just jump over. Because that's what happened to me. Like I bought Battlefield, and then Halo surprise drop like on Monday, and I was like, I haven't touched Battlefield since. And I just only played Halo. So
And people try to argue that Battlefield is a fun game, still playing, but that game, I don't know, man.
things to look forward to, but games now, like, I mean, kind of like you mentioned, they don't drop like 100%.
Now, so just to give you guys some background on how software is developed, we have this thing called Agile, which if you've seen any of my YouTube videos, right, you probably heard about it
Nope.
once or twice. But we have this thing, like we embrace this thing called like fake it till you make it type of thing, and I think when you're shipping like Netflix style of apps, because they're treating software as a service, right? Where it's like, oh, it's okay because as long as we ship the MVP, the rest can ship later.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just interesting that before, I guess, when you had to ship a physical game disc, the deadline was very real, right? So you had a
Yeah.
clear cutoff because you had to get all the promotional material, the packaging, shipping.
Yeah, like before, I think like for example, like Halo, like all the DLC for like a Halo game was already out. It just wasn't like released. Like it came like already pre-installed in the disc that you bought like day one. It just wasn't until months later that like you
Yeah,
could like have access to it. Now they're like, yeah, we'll have more maps. They just won't be ready until like next year.
so do you think this is a bad thing for gamers? Like, or do you think gamers are just gonna shift their mindset and expect games to come basically
Well,
half baked?
it's trending that way, right? Do you remember Halo 3 came out perfect? Everyone loved it. They had a good amount of maps, and then they had the DLC, the first pack with 3 maps, Avalanche and all that, and then they released the second one with ODST with more maps. But that was the beginning of the downloadable content. It was
Era.
you had your full game, then you get some more. That
Now,
was
how do you think? But how do you think that this? Do you think we'd be having this conversation today if people hadn't ponied up money to buy those extra maps and then would have said, no, we want whatever came in the game?
well, I think what it was is games going from disc to download because now they can just release the game whenever they're ready and then give us
It's a
more.
double-edged sword for sure. Because I mean, you go back and you look at like Call of Duty, like Modern Warfare 2, for example. That game, like once it released, like day one, like that's it. They're done. They're no longer touching it. Maybe they add maps, but they're not tweaking it. They're not patching it. Like the game you go right now, it's still broken. So now it's like, yeah, like you do get like half a game, but you're getting a continuously
Oh boy,
updated game
they lose
with
energy.
new maps, like even a year, 4 or 5, 6 years later, that are still being supported.
Yeah.
So yeah, you do have like a half-baked game like opening day, but you'll still have like a continuous game like 4 or 5 years into the future that's still being like worked on and stuff like that. So
You know
So
you're
what?
that
getting two
is the
sides
thing.
to it.
So this kind of brings us back into GTA. Let's just transition over to GTA Online then, right? Because now, do you see just games being like GTA Online, where it's just like a continuous
Yeah, I mean, you see,
flow?
like yeah, like I think the cycle for GTA's like 1 through 3 through 4 were like a year or two. Like what GTA's online been available for like 6, 7 years now, right?
Yeah.
So I mean, you're continuously getting like a game that's updated that works from day one, but you're just getting like continuous
Whoa.
content.
Remember GTA Online was broken for like 2 weeks, 3 weeks.
So let me ask
Yeah,
you guys an
there were
important
some
question.
bugs for sure.
Let
Yeah.
me ask you guys an important question. Would you rather pay up front like $100 and say, "Here's a game," and I expect the game to get better over time, or do you expect to pay like $60 and then 20 for continuous updates? Like, would you rather pay a bigger bulk upfront price of like 150 and then have lifetime updates,
Well,
or
what kind of game are we talking about? Because if it's a
like like
story-driven
Halo?
game,
Let's just say Halo is infinite, as they're saying, right? And this is the only version of Halo we're gonna get for like the next 5, 6, 7 years. But they're gonna continuously make it better for the next 5 or 6
I'll pay
years.
$200. Give me everything in house. But they're not doing. I think what they're doing is, here's the maps. They're free, but pay for your skins. That makes sense. I don't think we're
Yeah,
gonna take them out.
Halo's a different model because it went free to play. If you're going that model, like you're thinking like Battlefield, which like I did, I bought like the $90 version of Battlefield because it said like, all right, you're getting 4 season battle passes and you're gonna have access to all this extra stuff. It's gonna come out sometime next year, and we're now like they said, oh yeah, the first map probably won't come out till like summer, and the
What?
game came out
Battlefield
like
said that?
yeah, like they're like, oh yeah, our probably
Dude,
like our first update won't be until summer. So it's like, all right, so I paid all this money for all this extra content
it's
that
not gonna
now won't
happen.
even be available like until like 6, 7 months later after the
Wait,
release.
so how does Xbox Game Pass come into all this? Do you have to pay extra for the maps there?
I think like the Xbox Game Pass probably just gives you like the bare bones version of the game, or it's just like the standard edition. I bought like the gold edition or whatever that like gave me like the early access and like the extra maps and DLC and stuff already like
Yeah,
without
because I
having to
got
pay for it
yeah,
later.
yeah. You're gonna get the bare bones, and if you want to get the stuff, you're gonna buy the game and then buy your DLC.
So you can't if you're on the Game Pass, and what I'm hearing is you can't possibly get the extra stuff.
Unless they give it available to
You'd
you.
have to like pay for that DLC pack like separately, probably, unless it became part of like Game Pass itself.
Yeah, because I
You'd
think
have like
Digital
access to the
Prime.
game
But,
itself, but then you'd
but
have to buy
is
the
there
DLC.
facts to support this, or is this something you guys are speculating? Like, do you know
No,
somebody who has Halo on Game Pass?
At Junior.
I mean I know a couple people. Well, what's the question? Because it's like I mean
So,
Halo's
my
content is
question
all
is,
going to be free anyway.
so here's where I'm
Halo
going.
itself went free to play model.
Here's what I'm trying to get to, right? Because everybody's on this like monthly recurring. Because from a business perspective, having a monthly recurring revenue is significantly better for a company than to have a one-time upfront payment.
And this is
Right?
you're referring
Because
to the Game Pass.
yeah, so that's why everybody's going to these like subscription models, right? Because instead of charging people $60 for a game, and then the company reports, because when they launch the game, they have an influx of like earnings, right? Because they just got a crap ton of money, right?
Mhm.
Versus when they spread the love over months or years, they have it consistent every month. They have the money coming in,
Yeah.
right? So it's better for them to do that than to do the bulk. So my question is, could it become a trend where every game basically becomes a subscription where you're just paying $15 a month to even play the game and you're just getting maps and skins and everything else?
I mean, I think the introduction of the battle passes that really like took off in Fortnite kind of established that that model would work because you get a full game and you can play the game itself without having access to all this extra stuff. But if you do want extra content and extra skins and extra like whatever, then you will have to pay $10 every like new season that there's a battle pass and then there's a new skin and there's a new whatever. Most like generic stuff or like baseline stuff like maps and stuff that will like be available to public. But if you want the extra like cosmetics and stuff, that's like what the subscription part I think becomes. Because like you're seeing people like Danny who will buy like every battle pass available because he wants all the extra stuff.
Yeah, Spider-Man.
I mean,
But
like
then,
Halo, like there's a battle pass available right now that you can buy, and then it's only $10. You have it for forever, and then next battle pass you can buy that and then keep working on that one. And so the game itself is available free, like from
Day one.
whenever you want it. It's just the extra stuff that you would like be like
You
continuously
want to
paying
look
for.
cool, you pay $20.
what about people that just like, I don't know, I'm not interested in paying extra?
And you can play for free. You'll be fine, but you'll
Yeah, I
look
mean
you'll
you're
look
playing the
basic.
game without like an extra like a unicorn helmet or whatever. You know, it's like it's never like the extra stuff is never game breaking or like game winning. Like it doesn't affect like actually the game itself or the gameplay itself. It's just purely cosmetic stuff.
So
Yeah, and if
that,
cosmetic ever has an edge, they patch it out or they
what
make it different.
what about at the maps level though, right? Like, what if I'm playing with you guys and I don't have the map? Can I?
Every
That's
map
not a
is
thing
free.
anymore. That's like Xbox 360. Like if you didn't have a map pack back then yeah, that was a thing. But now it's like every map is available for everyone, like whenever.
That's pretty
DLC
cool.
maps for Halo specifically, like they're gonna always be available for everyone.
Okay, because I know the only reason I brought it up is because when Nintendo's making a pretty big deal that for the new waves for the 48 new tracks that they're coming out with, right? If you don't have it but your friend does, you'll be able to join their game, and you don't have to buy the map.
Okay.
But then I'm assuming you need Nintendo Switch Online, which is a whole different subscription. So,
Yeah, you do, but you don't have to pay the maps. You just need to have a friend that has the maps.
that is interesting. Yeah.
So I just didn't know. I thought that was common. I thought that's how it worked.
Hopefully you had friends.
Yeah, I mean, I know there's that one game that was really popular. It Takes Two. It's
Oh
like
yeah.
that one's a split screen like game. You and one other person are playing like a puzzle game essentially, like a Portal type of game where you have to like navigate a map and like you each have like different objectives and stuff. And so like it requires like two people to play that game, but only one of you actually has to buy it. So like you like one person pays for the full game, and then it lets like the second person just download the game and have like that friend code to like be able to play with them. So it's like kind of a trend to like actually like allow like only one complete version of a game, and then just like having other people being able to like tag along and join in.
Okay, so then if I'm understanding this whole DLC thing properly, then right is you're not paying so much for so what's in the battle passes then?
Cosmetics.
It's usually just like skins and like armor pieces and
But why are
I have
people
just
a
paying
stuff.
blue
for that?
I have a blue warthog, Alex. It looks sick. No one else has it. Well, unless they pay.
Yeah.
But why?
It's really just the somewhat the exclusivity of it, the grind for it, like especially like in a game like Halo, where the multiplayer is like you're playing the game, like you're playing the same maps, you're playing the same game modes. You want to have like something to work for, so you have a battle pass where you have challenges and things to do. So you're playing towards something. It's a progression
Wait,
system.
hold on. Back that up then. So you're telling me you're paying money and then you don't even get it until you can unlock it through skills?
It gives you something to do.
Yeah, like you have like challenges to complete the battle pass,
But
and
you
so
got to
you're
pay
playing a
for it.
game. Yeah,
Same in Fortnite. That's their thing. You got to play rounds of the same thing over and over again. You have quests and missions, but the thing is, you're earning for the next level of the battle pass, which gives you an item or something.
like you can play the game without paying anything, and you're still playing the same game and having the same amount of fun as you want with like your friends. But if you want to have that extra cool helmet or that cool skin or that cool gun,
Blue Warthog.
yeah, then you pay the extra, and then you have the extra little bit to like work towards and play around with.
Man, y'all be incentivized in a very weird way. I
I like.
wouldn't try to play harder to get a freaking blue warthog.
No, the cool part about the Halo one and any battle pass, level 100, which is usually the max, it has some sick skins. And especially in Fortnite, if you don't finish the battle pass in time, you don't get the last remaining one. So Tony actually has a skin from season 2 of
Season 1 or
Fortnite.
season 2.
It's called the Black Knight. Super rare. His account's worth a bunch of money. Made like 10 grand.
It's like only less than 1% of like the player base has that skin, and I have it because I played it and
He's the
grinded
only.
towards it.
Exactly. I didn't play to level 100. Tony did. And now he's got something really cool that a lot of people don't have, and they'll pay a lot of money for.
So, again, that's awesome. But I'm still digesting the fact that you guys are paying money for the potential to get
It's
something.
just how much are you playing? If I'm playing Fortnite a lot, I'm putting the battle pass in because I'm grinding it and I know I'm playing it. But somebody like Junior or Tony that won't play more than a day, if that, they're probably not gonna buy the battle pass. They'll just play that day with their friends if they're in it. You know.
But you don't need to buy the battle pass that day.
No, you don't need to play. You don't need the battle pass to play. You can. It's an optional thing.
It's only ever extra stuff on top of the game to like just make it extra challenging, just extra like fun and things to do. You never, if you want to play the game itself, like you just play the game itself without buying the battle pass. I don't think there's ever been a battle pass in any game that was required to actually like enjoy the game.
And you're telling me that these companies are making millions of dollars off of this business model?
Cosmetics.
Yeah, I think it was really just like Fortnite that took it off and like made like, oh yeah, like we can do like continuous like progression system that people want to play and like have something to do and will pay for it. So yeah,
I mean,
it was after Fortnite that we saw like Call of Duty introduce it and like Halo introduced it, and Halo 5 they introduced like a battle pass. Right?
It's same as Gears of War. Do you remember Gears of War started with the horde mode, and then all of a sudden everyone has some kind of zombies or firefight. If it's good and it trends, they're gonna copy it. That's what the problem with Halo 5 and Call of Duty was. They started Call of Duty added quick agility maneuvering, and then all of a sudden Halo 5 has quick little thing like that. That's why they're competing with each other. And
it's the trend that like happens. I mean that's why we saw the influx of battle royales when like Fortnite and or even like way back in like H1Z1 and PUBG and stuff like that. When those like became a thing, then every game like, oh well, we need a battle royale. It's just the way the industry's kind of trended towards. If you have a game, you have a battle pass progression type system, or you have a battle royale.
Yeah.
And without either one, your game doesn't like survive really.
This is an interesting. I'm just. I know you guys are enjoying this from just a gaming perspective.
Consumer.
I'm putting my entrepreneurial hat on and trying to figure out like how do you lock in attention, right? Because it's just attention arbitrage that they're just trying to make sure that people are in their platform playing their game for as much as possible.
Well, the first thing you need is a very popular game. I'm not going to play Halo if Tony's not playing Halo. If my friends are playing it, that's cool. But now you incentivize. Oh, Tony's playing Halo. I got the battle pass. Hey, Tony, look what I got. And then he's competing now. Like, oh, well, I got this one. And then, oh, okay. Well, you both had the battle pass. We'll have the same items. Item shop comes out with a $20 skin. I'll pay for it. What's up, Tony? Look at my sick skin. You know, it's always a thing with your friends. If your friends aren't playing, or maybe even online, right? Like with randoms, look what I have. You don't. It becomes that, but it's not game breaking because it's only cosmetics.
Yeah, part of it is also like it's time based, so it's like also like we didn't even touch on it. Like with Fortnite came like the weekly shop rotations. So every week or every day, there's something new like in the item shop that's only available for so long, for like 7 days or one day, 24 hours. And so like after those 7 days, like
Gone.
that skin won't be gone or will be gone for who knows how long. It might never come back. I
It's
know
like
there's
the
some
Disney
games where they
Vault.
said like, what was that?
It's like the Disney Vault. Disney used to do these with the
Or
Disney movies,
It's a
right? They only
collector's
release a
thing.
movie for a
Yeah,
certain time.
yeah,
that's
it's
what
like
it is.
because it's like, oh, like if I buy the skin right now, like I might not ever be able to like buy it later. Like let me buy it right now. I was like way back, like we are playing like when we used to play RuneScape and they had like those like
Oh yeah.
holiday like missions and quests and stuff. Or like, oh, like I need to get like this Halloween quest because like this Halloween, like they're giving out like I remember it was like a ghost face skin basically, and
I
it's like if
remember
you
that from
play,
like Animal Crossing days. I think that's the first game that I ever experienced where you had
I
to
think I
play it.
remember that. I was like daily logins to like get stuff
No,
like
no, but they had like Halloween items that would only be like you could
right,
only find
But
them
the
on
difference
Halloween.
is in Animal Crossing, you can always time clock change your GameCube or
way back
whatever.
on
Or
GameCube.
that
Yeah.
and that and but I think the second part that you mentioned, which is really really key, right? Your friends wouldn't have seen it, but now you do.
Well, I got a true story. I was down with pneumonia from on my birthday, and Dance Monkeyed a song, a emote came out on Fortnite, and I'm kicking myself in the butt. I'm checking every day for that emote to come back out. It probably won't for like another month or two, maybe if that. But my
Yeah,
friend,
there's a at
yeah,
that same time in Halo, there's like a specific like free battle pass event that was going on,
I didn't get
and
any of
Junior and
those.
I like, yo, like we got to like get on and grind out this like mission so we can like have these skins that Danny won't have. And so like if we
Bro,
log on, like we have like these cool skins that Danny doesn't have access to, especially because like Halo's like Danny's like kind of like bread and butter, like that was like his alma mater. Like
the funny
if
thing
he
is,
doesn't have a Halo skin and we do, like he's like extra salty about it.
exactly why I haven't been on Halo since I got better, because I know they got the mohawk and all that
No,
from the
no, is
skin.
there an
And I want
option
it.
for Danny to pay double the price to unlock the piece and basically get it with no merit?
Alex,
Mm,
I've dropped.
no, not really. They'll
Uh,
be like how like Danny brought up earlier. I have like the Black Knight from season 2 that came out. Like that one, like Fortnite has said, like, oh, if it was in the battle pass, it will
yeah,
never be back in the store. Like it's never coming back. And there's been like since then, there's been like a Black Knight like updated version, but it's not like
it's
it's
not
kind
the
of
It's
like,
OG.
not
oh,
the
that's
Black
not
Knight.
the original one. Yeah, like it's like they'll maybe be like tweaks and reskins and stuff, but you'll never have like that original one.
Which is cool. That's why Tony's account is worth so much money if he ever decides to sell it. And any other skin that he got, like I don't know, season 3 or 4 or 5, because every season that comes by, we stop playing as older kids, we're kids, we're older adults, and the newer kids are still playing. They want it. We look cool. I dropped the worm emote, and all the kids in the lobby are like, oh my gosh, it's an OG.
It's an
Pretty.
OG.
That's what they
Yeah,
call you if they see anything from season 1, 2 to 5.
What
it's
season
dope.
is Fortnite on now?
Season 3, chapter 3,
No,
season 1.
yeah,
What is
they
that?
turned into
So
chapters. So each chapter I think is like 10 seasons,
yeah, so
and so
it's chapter.
they've now like basically like 33rd season or so like of Fortnite.
But the game really has changed, Alex. If you see before and after, they updated everything
I just never
visually.
played it because I the mechanics of it just they gave me nausea.
Yeah, it's definitely one of the more mechanically inclined games.
Yeah, that's why I never got into Call of Duty because I just throw up every time. Heck, even playing 30 minutes of Halo now, I'm like, I'm done.
No, well, you should try the new Halo because it's not as it went back to its roots.
It is weird though, because like, and there's some like settings that on Halo specifically that I had to take off. Like if you're running, you have like little streaks like running past you to like kind of make you notice that you're running really fast. And it's like they do kind of make it a point to like kind of, I guess, like
I
give
don't
you
like
motion
the
sickness
gun
type stuff.
Yeah,
where it goes like
my mind is
yeah.
just blown though. Like the only DLC that I ever bought was like extended storylines or added maps, but just for skins and stuff of that nature, it just blows my mind that people are spending money on that.
I mean,
Yeah, you're
people
kind of
like
like
it.
my
Yeah.
wife. She's like, "Why do you have that skin?" But the thing is, I go, "Hey, Kenna, because we play Fortnite together. Let me. Do you want this Harley Quinn Fortnite skin?" She goes, "Okay." And now she's wearing it and she's showing off. It's a thing, dude. It's a really
Yeah, it works best with Fortnite because they're using like all these IPs that like are already like fan favorites and stuff, like especially with like Marvel like skins and stuff like that. It's like, yeah, like I want to be Spider-Man in Fortnite because like who the hell doesn't like Spider-Man, you know?
yeah.
Like Fortnite did very well, like being able to like team up with different IPs, and like they've even teamed up with other games and stuff. Like you can play as a Master Chief in Fortnite. Like why wouldn't you want to? You know?
And then for PlayStation, you can play as the God of War, Kratos.
Uh,
So
This just this
they
is
can
mind
rip
blowing. Like I kind of read and heard. I'm not completely like obliterate of or ignorant of
Oblivious.
this of this stuff happening, right? But I just didn't like. I'm just seeing dollar signs and so many different new ideas that I gotta go build businesses on, just on the
yeah,
psychology of how people work.
people want to stand out. People want to look different. People want to brag. It's a pride thing. It's a and it really feeds into your ego. It's pretty awesome.
Yeah. On
That's
top of
fun.
that,
All
it's
right,
just something to do. Sometimes the game itself, like you
Yeah,
play it enough, where like, yeah, I just played it, but now it's like, all right, let me play it and get this. You know, it's like it rewards you for like continuously playing.
all
exactly.
right.
Fortnite's the same map over and over again. I can play it. I have to play it. Let's say I have to play it 20 times to catch up on the battle pass. It's instead of just I'm gonna play one or two games now I'm bored. Now I got to do certain things in each game so I can get XP. Really
That's
interesting.
crazy. Yeah, no, that's definitely again like I got this entrepreneurial hat on, and it's causing all kinds of just ideas to pop into my head. But anyways, let's jump into Uncharted. The movie just came out, $44 million, fourth biggest start as a video game for a video game movie in the history here. What do you guys think? Did you guys watch it?
No, not yet.
I have not yet. From when I saw the trailers, it didn't look promising. It looked kind of the CGI and like the green screen looked really weird. I never even played Uncharted, so it really wasn't like that peak of an interest for me. I'll watch it for sure eventually,
So
but I'm
reviews
not
came out, they were
too
bad.
excited for it.
They are bad.
Yeah,
They were bad, but I think the bar's low. Like
Video
Sonic the
games
Hedgehog
movie.
was number one, 58 million. I
yeah.
absolutely
I
love
mean,
Sonic.
the main reason why I don't like games like being adapted into movies is because the game already told the story like good enough. Like it
What
makes
do you-
no sense to just like cut it up into an hour and a half and put it on a big screen. Like
I don't know. I'm gonna disagree because the original Tomb Raider was just a work of art.
You just like Angelina Jolie, dude.
Maybe that's what it was, but
I'm pretty
the
sure
original
the
Tomb
movie.
Raider did so well. How much did the original Tomb Raider make? Like, I
Well,
it
remember
says
the original.
47 million on here in the opening weekend.
and Uncharted did just as well.
So,
No, I
But I
already
think
got
Tom Holland.
44.
They're really getting characters like Tom, or people like Tom Holland. Mark Wahlberg is getting a little older, but he's well known. So
I thought it
they're
would have
getting
done better though because they had Spider Man in it, and he was
yeah.
just coming off the hype
yeah,
train of
he's
Spider
definitely a
Man.
big name, and it is coming off President's Weekend, so it could have made more. It's just I don't know. I think especially after like the new COVID variation came out, like people went and saw Spider Man, and then they didn't see anything else. Like that was kind of like the only thing that they went to see. Like movies in general haven't been doing well, and
Yeah,
so
original Tomb Raider made $274 million.
Yeah, even my dad watched that movie because of Angelina Jolie. So it's not a
That
video
movie,
game
no.
thing.
So that movie was good, but it was also, you know what made Tomb Raider different? It was the first movie that was in DVD quality. It was
Mm.
like it's one of the very first DVDs I ever had
So it's like Avatar for
for DVDs. Yeah, it was like it's what you needed to buy when you bought a DVD player and you were showing people off that you had a DVD player. It's like you had the Tomb Raider.
what was Avatar for Blu-ray, right?
Yeah,
no, Avatar had like 3D and stuff.
Oh, the 3D
yeah,
stuff.
they had the 3D.
Like you went in with like your glasses and stuff because of the world that they created in 3D.
All right, well, I have a lot of the Uncharted games. I just never played them either. But
Yeah, but it's
I
like
would,
like the story from what I've heard, like Uncharted games are like one of the best like PlayStation Sony exclusives, and it's like you get to play the story in 8-12 hours, however long it takes you to beat the game. Cutting it up and condensing it into an hour and a half, like it just doesn't work well. Like the reason why Detective Pikachu and like that Sonic movie did well is because like they just took like these characters and gave them a story for the big screen. They didn't adapt like a movie or a story that was already made.
yeah.
That's why I'm kind of skeptical about Halo. You got like a story that's like been told
Well
over four,
established.
5, 6 games, and now you're gonna tell it into like 10 episode like miniseries. Like we'll see if it does well. Like I mean, they're already like greenlit for season 2, so
I don't
maybe
think
they can
it
tell it long
will.
enough, like well enough. But
I think the Halo TV show, dude, is gonna be more based off the books lore and changing the books lore, which I'm very cautious about because the books are like godsend.
Yeah, that
But
too.
I don't think they're gonna touch the video game lore at all. Maybe they'll talk about it, but they're not gonna do like if you guys read Ghosts of Onyx and stuff, how Spartan threes were made. That was sick. If they mess with that, I don't
So
know.
so do you think they'll do something like they did with Detective Pikachu, where it's like a totally just separate
That's what
whole
I'm
I'd
other?
like
thinking.
them to. Give me a whole Super Smash Brothers universe. Like apparently, there's already going to be like a third like Sonic after this, like and then like a Knuckles spinoff as well. Like they're kind of like you
They're gonna
give
make
us
a
all
Shadow
these like
movie probably.
I'm pretty sure like the third one will probably be like a Shadow movie, and then there's going to be a whole Knuckles spinoff. So like yeah, we already have like a whole like kind of cinematic universe set in place for like Super Smash Brothers. You know, like just give us
I
all of them.
know,
Like
right? No, that
yeah,
would be something else.
Oh my
Nintendo,
gosh, Nintendo.
what? You know what?
We need a
Nintendo's just
Zelda
too dumb
movie.
to do something with their IP like that, though. They just
yeah.
Yeah,
dropped the ball with their IP.
we need a
I
Zelda
remember
movie. You know,
Gary V was like talking about like if I ran Nintendo, man, the number of like things that they would be doing with their IP would just be crazy. And Nintendo just drops the ball.
I
Yeah,
don't know
no,
if they're
Nintendo
dropping the
does not
ball,
like to do anything with their stuff.
but they're
Even like
still alive.
esports scene, like they don't let you like touch that game like in the esports scene like at all. Like they don't
But
acknowledge it like whatsoever. Like
that doesn't make any sense
it's
because
crazy.
the fan base is there,
Yeah.
the money to be made is there. It's like Nintendo's just going like, no thanks, we don't want money.
But they are Nintendo, and like I said, they're
Basically.
still alive. They're still doing fine. Maybe
But they're
not
not
as
doing
fine.
great. They're doing fine. They're
They're
getting
just
by.
deep rooted in like their original, like, all right, we're like the family friendly, like we're making these games that we made in the 90s and stuff, and we're just sticking to that, and that's all like we'll ever do. And they
Yeah,
don't want to be more, they don't want to be less. And
if
so I
they ever
mean,
wanted to, yeah,
I know
they didn't ever
they've
bring
got
it.
like their place like in the ecosystem, and they're not like I guess really like don't want to mess with it any more than they need to. So I mean, it's like you say they could be making way more, but they're also not like like Genesis and stuff who like died off, and like all these other like different like kind of like wannabe like superstar like consoles that never got anywhere.
Nintendo's not going anywhere, man. They every now and then they come with an innovation, and it stocks like, go up again. Wii, Switch, they go up and down again, but they're just getting ready for the next one. I mean, yeah, Switch
So,
is
so Tony and I were talking about the Switch Sports, the sports one again.
yeah.
What are they calling it? It's
Yeah, I
not
think it's
Wii
like
Sports.
yeah, Nintendo Switch Sports.
So, and Tony was like, "Oh, the game's gonna do great," and I'm still a pessimist with this game. I think it's gonna flop.
Well, it
And
depends. How much is it?
what's
That's
gonna be
another
this?
thing. Yeah.
I'm not gonna pay $60 for Wii Sports. I'll pay 20.
Well, what I was telling Tony, which we forgot to mention in last week's episode, because I know Danny, you and I spoke about it a little bit, was Wii Sports was so important because it introduced you to how to use the Wii motion controller. Right?
Hmm.
If it wouldn't have been for that, Nintendo needed the staple product that told people how to use their new and innovative controller. Right?
Hmm.
But we're 5 years into the Switch. You can't find a Switch at the store. You can find a crap ton of Switch lights. How the heck are you gonna play Wii Sports on the Switch? Switch Sports on the Wii Lite or Switch Lite? Like
Can't.
saying these damn consoles.
I
How are you
think
gonna play this game on that console with half your audience is now on a console that doesn't support it?
I think the game that came out to show what the Wii controllers.
What
I
the
mean,
heck
not the
happened to your
Wii.
camera? It's all blurry now.
Start focus.
Whoa, focus.
I just looked it up. It's supposed to be like $40 as well.
$40. Ooh.
I
What do you
mean,
think, Danny?
There you go.
I'll buy it on sale on Black Friday when it's $20.
I
it's
saw
like
a Switch at Target.
it's not terrible because I mean you have like those like the Mario Golf was like a $40 game, and people love Mario Golf, and people
Was
are
Mario
really
Golf
excited for this
$40?
Mario Strikers and stuff like that. Let's
I'll
see
pay
how much.
$40 for Mario Golf. I saw a PlayStation 5 box yesterday at my local Best Buy.
You should have
Somebody bought
gotten
it
it.
though.
Mario
It
Golf
was already
on
purchased.
Switch.
I thought so. I saw a PlayStation 5 box and I was like, "This is the first time I've seen
Mario
one."
Golf was $60 by the way.
Hmm.
I saw
Yeah,
three
$60 for
Switches
Mario Golf.
for the Switch one.
Yeah, for that new Mario Golf that came out like just last year, it was $60. And I
There's no
mean, people
golf for
loved
Switch
Mario
games.
Golf and all these Mario like sports spin-offs. So I mean,
Yeah,
Yeah.
but
I can see
again,
them
you're
liking
using the
that.
Mario Nintendo IP, which is great. I don't know that Switch
I
sports.
think the Wii Sports though has enough of an IP within the Nintendo like universe for it to like do well. Because I mean,
Everyone.
you even have people like in Super Smash Brothers Ultimate playing as the Wii like fitness characters. You know, like people play as like those Wii, and like I mean, it's kind of like it's
Yeah,
yourself. You know, you make your own avatar and you're back in
Are they
like
called the
Wii
Mii's?
Sports. Yeah, the
MII?
Mii's. I don't know
yeah,
if they
but
like converted that
But
over,
I don't
but
know. I don't see people like taking off those little controllers and freaking little things or these
Oh, I'm
like looking for a
definitely doing it.
5-year-old.
You
yeah,
Yeah,
guys
not
come
you,
up with like a party, we're gonna play.
yeah.
yeah, but you
Because it's
gotta
marketed
be.
towards like those family members for the living room, like I brought up. Like it's gonna be like, oh yeah, like, we have our Wii in the living room, like or our Switch in the living room. Let's play golf together. Let's play
I'm
like
not playing
bowling.
solo though.
You
Yeah,
know?
it's not a solo
Yeah.
thing, I would think.
No, yeah. I mean, like that whole like Nintendo, like that 1-2 Switch, whatever that came out, like a bunch of those mini games. Like you have like the Mario parties and stuff like that. Those do well because it's a party game with family. Like that's the thing. Like I brought up, it's like Nintendo and Switch is primarily like I mean they do have like their handheld, like you mentioned, like their lights, but they always want to like kind of like cater towards that family living room environment. And so I mean, there's just another game to get you like together with your family and friends. You
I'm
look
like,
at all those ads; it's still people like hitting their Switch in an airport and like playing games together. You know, like this is just another way to do that.
Hmm.
I still think it's gonna flop.
Well,
But
time will
you
tell.
you heard it here first, and we will cut back. We'll go full Gary V on
If
this.
it does not flop, Alex here owes me $50 and
50 bucks.
Nintendo Switch Sports.
If it does not flop, Alex will get me the next PS5 he sees.
No. If it doesn't flop,
That's how much he.
I'll buy somebody the game.
You can buy Tony the
Yeah,
game.
yeah. 'Cause I'm not buying
Then
it.
he's like, I already got it on pre-order.
I'm not buying it, but it will do well.
I don't think it's gonna do well at all.
You're not going to
All right.
support your side.
All right, talking about things that are not gonna do well. Stream Deck. Have you guys looked into this yet?
I've seen like tidbits everywhere, but I didn't look at this latest article.
So it's a handheld PC. It's gonna ship with Valve's own Steam OS. It's basically
Oh, they finally got
That's-
this off the ground, huh? I've been reading this.
so.
for a
So
while
this
now.
this is really interesting, right? So did you guys ever hear of the Ouya?
Yeah, that's what I was
flop.
thinking when this was brought up. It's just gonna be another like flop.
Did you
gonna
hear
happen.
about the Ouya, Daddy?
Mm-hmm.
Do you think this Stream Deck's gonna do good?
Dude, why would I want to take my PC anywhere? It's good where it's at. The games are
You're
good where
not.
it's
You're not.
at. Is that going to be like a PC, but like affordable? And
Games for
put it into
Steam are meant for like I'm sitting at a desk and playing like Steam games. They're not like, all right, I have this handheld like the whole handheld thing. I feel like it's kind of like outdated. Like those kind of went away with like the DS and like, the PSP.
As we were just talking about how amazing the Switch is.
Yeah,
Well,
but I'm seeing the Switch as the port as like the docked living room Switch. The handheld version, like I've never once played my Switch handheld. In like the 2-3
think-
years I've had it, I've never played a handheld.
So
I
if
think-
Nintendo has no handheld console officially, right? Because the DS is out.
But the Switch is it. The Switch
You
Lite.
can kind of count the Switch Lite as like their handheld.
Because it technically is. You can't put it on
Sony
TV.
doesn't have a handheld.
Yeah.
What?
Sony killed out their Vita platform.
Xbox never had one, so I mean.
Microsoft, yeah, Xbox, Microsoft, they never had one.
Mhm.
Why are those
Like-
people thinking of going into this territory that nobody wants?
Well, I think they're catering to the wrong people. As handhelds, how old were we? You know what I mean? We took our games everywhere as kids. We
Yeah,
out
but
there in the
are
bouncer
kids
playing.
really on Steam?
I
That's what I'm
think they're
saying.
looking at
my
the
kid's not
mobile
on Steam.
audience, and that's where they're wrong. They're kind of going like they're jumping the bridge and not going like backwards because it's like from what I know is like the mobile like audience, like people like in like the Apple App Store and like the Android App Store, like that's where the money's at. Like a bunch of like you look at the top 10 games like on those stores, they're making way more money. Like Call of Duty Mobile is making way more money than these actual like Call of Duty like
And it's a free to play
AAA games. Yeah, so it's like the money being made in mobile is like insane, and I think
But-
that's what they're trying to like get. But it's like
but-
that's a different audience.
But it's being made because of the convenience. It's not being made because I got to carry this gigantic Switch.
Mhm.
I wouldn't play it, to be honest with you. It doesn't interest me.
I think
Yeah.
it's gonna flop too.
I
Maybe
think
that's
it's
what we
another-
need to do. We need to do like everything coming out. Is it gonna flop or not?
What's it called? Flip or flop? No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah, flip or flop.
Flop or not? That's
Yeah,
a good,
flop or not.
that worked
I think
right
we're
there.
gonna just pivot the podcast. And
Yeah,
just be flop
that's
or
just
not.
its own segment now. We're just the trending topics, and then
Flop.
Uncharted flopped. Yeah.
Flop. We gotta go like this. All right, 1, 2, 3, and we do our thing.
Can I raise my hand? No.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can. It says Tony's got something to
It's
say.
just something to say. There's no. This isn't like
It's,
like
it's
Zoom
moving
where
you
you have
up.
like the whole.
It's moving you up on my screen.
Oh really?
Yeah, you're dancing.
I just have myself on the
All right,
bar.
so yeah, this is definitely. I think where do they stand to save their grace? And Ouya couldn't even do this, right? Because Ouya was $99. If this thing costs a penny over $100, they might as well not even ship it.
Yeah, and it's like if you're going in at that price point, like the specs aren't going to be that good. The games aren't going to be like optimized for this like console. Like they're barely even optimized for this PC. So it's like
That's a good
to,
point. Like this on the PC, are developers making games for SteamOS?
I
I don't
believe
know.
so.
Is Fortnite on
Because
SteamOS?
they don't make them for Mac OS and even less for Linux. So they got like a
Is Fortnite on SteamOS?
Fortnite is Epic Games exclusive, so no. But
They would never do that because they're
So dead on
competitors.
arrival.
but Fortnite
Wow.
is like on the Switch and it works well on Switch and on mobile. So there are different variations of Fortnite that do work on like a handheld and like on mobile.
I played.
Yeah,
Switch
but you
handheld.
got to remember the only reason Fortnite's on Switch is because of the user base.
Are you
Yeah,
saying
right.
only kids play it?
No, I'm saying how many number of kids play it. How
I
many
think-
Switches have sold?
Switch?
like at least 3, maybe more for sure.
No,
Right.
yeah, I think
103 million Nintendo Switches are in the wild, right? So Fortnite invests their developers' time to port the game because they have a market of 103 potential people that aren't on a computer, right? Because
Yeah.
my son's probability of him being on a Switch or having his own dedicated PC is like, I don't know, 10 to 1. They're not going to invest to port this thing over to like SteamOS when they have like 100,000 cells.
I think that key point is like they're reaching that Nintendo Switch user base. People that are on Steam are already like on Steam from their PC. They don't need to be on Steam from a handheld device that's going to run. Because I mean, you look at Fortnite like on the Switch or on your mobile, it's like night and day compared to like on a PC with like max settings and max shadows and stuff. Like you almost don't want to be playing that game. So it's
Yeah.
like if you have to do that for like AAA titles like on Steam, like you're not going to want to be playing.
All right, so we'll start a second segment of we do predictions and then I pay people stuff. 200,000 cells for Ouya. How many cells do you think this thing will do?
200,000.
You think another 200,000?
Yeah,
What did that Ouya do?
Ouya sold 200,000 cells.
200.
that'll be
Steam
similar.
Deck? Let me see.
There's got to be some diehards out there.
But you think there's 200,000 people that are going to pay over $100?
Yeah, there's
I
a
think
lot
if
of
it's
rich people out
appropriately
there,
if
dude.
it is appropriately priced, it will do
It is
well.
not. It's not even gonna do. Wait, how much did you say? 200,000.
That's how many the Ouya did.
Uh huh.
I
But the real had
predict
a huge
that
backing, didn't it? Like a bunch of Kickstarters and stuff.
$8.5 million in Kickstarter budgets.
Yeah, they needed to get their stuff, so they put money in it. Well, what about the Google thing that was supposed to come out?
The
That thing
Stadia?
Yeah,
But Stadia failed only because again.
it sucked.
So you guys see this from the let's go back to the Halo Infinite conversation, right? Like you're shipping a game that's half baked, right? To develop software, it is extremely challenging and complex and expensive.
Well,
right?
they're doing Halo. Didn't they have like 6 years, 7 years to make this thing? And it came
Right,
out
but
like
that's
1/4 of what it usually has.
yeah, but the point is still that the amount of money that it cost them, right? Because you got to consider that every engineer that was on this Halo
I mean,
Infinite,
Microsoft is also a whole different beast where they're doing like contractors and stuff to develop their games. Like they're
Didn't they
doing.
just buy something for $61 billion? You know what I mean? They got the moolah.
Yeah, but the way that they developed Halo, like from what I read, it was like they had a contract, like a coder like contracted for like 8 months or whatever, and then they just contracted someone else because like it saved them money in the end to like do it that way
build
instead
out
of having an
team.
actual employee.
Yeah.
well, yeah,
So, I
because
mean,
at the actual employees at Microsoft rates, they're talking a $300,000 a year salary
yeah,
per
so
employee. For
so
a
it's
contractor, they're just paying like 150 grand,
right.
half the price.
And no insurance or anything. They gotta.
Right. So they
Yeah.
just pay the 150 in the salary, but they won't pay because Microsoft's most of the salaries are coming in from stock options into the company on all the healthcare and
Danny,
benefits.
yeah.
Yeah.
I'm
So
supporting Microsoft. I feel like it's their big AAA game. This is Halo. This is Halo on PC. I mean, other than Master Chief Collection, this one was supposed to be made for PC. I think they should have put a lot of care and love into this game, and I don't know. It's good. It's a good game, but
I'm telling you,
one
it's because
for
they're
it.
doing this like MVP. They shipped the minimal viable product because
They make the
they
most out of it.
they shot too high. You have to remember too, like this game is optimized for next gen console, right? And nobody knows how that architecture works. Like go compare Call of Duty 2 on Xbox 360 to what's the last Call of Duty that came out on Xbox 360.
Modern Warfare.
So go compare
On the
those two.
360, I
Yeah.
think it was
Oh,
like up into like
360?
Black Ops 2 and stuff like that.
All right, I didn't hear
So go
360.
compare them. Go compare the two. Right. When you have a completely new hardware architecture, completely new system, you don't know how to tap. You don't know how to tap its resources.
Yeah, there's
Well,
also like a new engine specifically used for Halo Infinite
the
that
flip
Right.
chain.
So
everyone had to like learn.
yeah, it's a steep learning curve, and you don't know what you can or can't do.
Well, you want to know how I beat the game in 6 hours. That's the fastest
Infinite?
Halo I've ever beat in my life.
You're like, I
Just
sneezed and
saying,
I was
this
done.
game is
But
very half baked. I hope they bring out more story. I will pay for it.
the
Good
thing though with
story.
this, like if you're following the main story, yeah, you can do it that fast. But this Halo campaign was made to
Yeah.
like explore the world and stuff, So if
Well,
you're,
yeah,
if you're
remember,
following just like the main beats, yeah, you can do it fast as hell. But they wanted you
Tony?
to explore and do all the little like side missions and challenges and kill all these other mini. Like
Yeah.
it was the funniest thing because I'm like, all right, here, there's like this one station you got to kill like the it was like an
The boss?
elite grunt. It
Yeah.
was just a grunt that's like like that's like a hunter prime grunt or something. I'm like, oh, there's gonna be a boss battle. It's gonna be cool. I'm driving up a mountain. I splattered him on the way to it, and then I completed it. I'm like, oh, like that was really funny. That was
Yeah.
really
Oh,
cool.
that's the boss.
I would have never gotten that if I just went through the main story and like avoided that.
Alex.
So
Tony
like
was
I'm like
telling
10
me.
hours into the Halo campaign, and I'm still like having fun with it and like taking
Tony
it like
was telling me you can upgrade your Master Chief to do stuff like I don't know, like grapple and electricity hit,
yeah,
paralyze
your
and stuff.
abilities and stuff can be upgradable.
I was having the hardest time beating the last boss, like the last boss, and I'm like, dude, what the heck? And I finally did it, and then Tony's like, oh yeah, you can upgrade your guy so you can have more shields, more health. And I'm like, I went bare nothing. Let's do it.
Yeah, so there's a way to play the Halo campaign that was not 6 hours minimum or maximum, and then he
It's
just
like
chose
this
to
is the
avoid
Then he
it.
was
main
like on
mission.
easy mode.
Nah, dude, I was on
He
normal.
basically made it harder. Yeah,
I was on normal. It was super hard, but the thing is, there are a bunch of side missions. I went main mission. Sometimes you need to do a side mission. I'll get it done quick, but any main mission ones, I'll steal a Banshee. I'll fly over there. I don't care. I'll skip everything. But I love the story. It had maybe like 40 minutes of cutscene, if that. So I don't know, dude. It's really lackluster in story for me. I really hope they had more. Even with the
See,
side
you're
missions.
just discouraging. You're encouraging me to keep waiting because I'm just gonna be disappointed.
It didn't push
Especially-
the lore anywhere. It actually ruined the lore. It's kind of like if you guys watch Star Wars, the last three, it ruined everything. Halo, that's when it really set back a lot of things. Like where the heck is Spartan Locke? And then you find his helmet. Is this guy dead? The guy that was hunting you in Halo
spoiler.
5. Oh, sorry, spoiler, like that.
I mean,
But
I feel a lot of it was because they had to kind of like retcon like a bunch of what they did
oh,
in
but
prior
Tony,
games that like were just kind of
that
weird. Like
Spartan
with
Locke thing was not part of the story. That's a side mission, actually. You find it
yeah,
on the ground. So the
yeah.
thing is, like, all these things that Halo built up, it's gone now, which is good. It's clean sweep. Let's see what happens. They did nothing. You made,
they dropped the
I
ball.
wish I could talk more about it. I don't
But
want to be spoilers.
most importantly, they took your money.
Yeah, and I want to see what the heck happens
I
next.
think it all comes down like at the end of the day, like all these like things are like the developer intervention and stuff. Because I do remember like 343, like, oh, we're gonna give you like all this extra content and all these free to play like skins and like things. And it's like once the game came out, it's like we didn't have that, but like 343 wanted it, but Microsoft didn't. And so it's like it's kind of like the higher ups are like, oh no, like we got to make money off this. You have to change this whole complete model and like make it to how we want it. All these Call of Duties, like the main game sucks now because whoever it is, Activision wants like the developers
Microsoft
to like,
now.
Microsoft.
Back to the root of all evil.
Yeah, like, well, at the time, Activision was like, yeah, no, like you guys got to focus on Warzone and skins and battle passes for Warzone because that's making us money. and we don't care about the main game anymore. So that one, like that
Yeah,
main game takes a
no
back seat.
profits, man. They'll turn a company. They'll destroy a company.
But Call of Duty did really well as Warzone. Not the new map. That one has a lot of problems, but people are still playing it. But with where their eyes are for money, Alex, it really is there. There's a gold mine there, especially if you can keep
Yeah,
the player base happy.
it goes back to Fortnite and that whole model and getting
Fortnite
people in a
is
battle royale and getting people to play with each other like that.
because
And
it's like the
those
new Minecraft.
exclusives.
Remember Minecraft was all the rage. Now Fortnite, it set the trend for everything. Well,
Well, I'm
actually,
excited to
no,
see where
this one's
games
longer.
go. I think part of this podcast we're gonna start making our own game or something because there's money to be made.
Yeah, even talking about that since like 2010. We're not making a game.
Hey, we got a podcast going. That was in the works for the last
We
12
got
years.
this, Alex. I told you, we started it. It worked.
We got like a whole 50 views between 2 videos now.
Hey, man, I
And
got
we
to
still
start
got to put
promoting
the
them.
audio version of this out.
Yeah, it's
All
easier
right.
to talk to the camera than to develop a whole game, though. So we'll see how that goes.
Famous last words, Tony. We're not going to give you a cut of our pie.
I'll just see you guys.
We just take your money. We'll make a game
I
just
did
for
take
fun.
one law class at Cal State Fullerton, so I do know. I'll see you guys.
Oh, he's ready.
It was business law, so yeah, I know about contracts.
He's
And all
watched
that.
Daredevil.
I've seen Daredevil make a cameo in Spider-Man.
Dude, that was actually pretty sick.
Did I ruin it for you, Danny? How bad was it?
Yeah, because you're like, oh yeah, this and that. I'm like, Alex.
This and what? How was I supposed to know you hadn't seen the dumb movie?
I
Guy
know.
was
I was
dying
doing
for
really
a
good
month.
avoiding Tony and Junior about that, and then all of a sudden, Alex and the podcast. I'm like, okay.
I didn't even say anything though.
I forgot what you said. You said one thing. I'm like, oh,
Uh-oh.
thanks.
I can't imagine that it ruined that much of the movie for you.
No, I've made it a point not to watch any or click on anything multiverse related. The Doctor Strange Multiverse of Madness, because it's like I saw everything that came out when Spider-Man came out, like all the trailers, like any article, like I was like looking up on it. So it's like I knew kind of what was gonna happen. I was still surprised, but it's like for this multiverse one, like I really want to like anything and anything can happen. Like I do not want to watch like
After you watch the movie, though, I would love to talk to after the movie. I want to talk to you about all the people that read the comics, like Junior, that really into it. When they saw the multiverse trailer, it's amazing. You're gonna love it, dude.
Yeah.
If it happens like the comics. But
Well, you really been not watching anything? Or Madness?
So at the end of Spider-Man, they show like a teaser trailer for it, and so I saw that.
Well,
and
the
then I
teaser, I didn't see that.
Yeah, it was like the second cutscene of like Spider-Man. Yeah, but the official trailer that came out. So I saw the first official trailer.
You're like my uncle, Tony's dad. What was it? What Black Widow? Freaking Black Widow, because Tony and Monko want to go watch Black Widow, and then they just left the theater. Who goes to a Marvel movie and just walks out of the theater?
Tony, why'd you walk out?
I think at that time I was like, I'd seen that there was a cutscene online, but like I didn't care because it's like I didn't even care for that movie, honestly. Like,
so your dad
most of the time when I'm watching a Marvel movie, I'm like, dude, I cannot, like, I do not want this to end. We're like halfway through Black Widow. I'm like, dude, I just gotta get through this. Like, I don't care about this character. We know where this is going. Like,
we all know she dies.
Yeah,
they should have released that before Endgame, I think.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, but then Monko comes over to the house, and I was talking to him because Monko hadn't seen Loki, he hadn't seen WandaVision, he hadn't seen Captain Falcon and the Winter Soldier, and Monko's like, "What the heck are you talking about?" Because I love Elaine Bennis from Seinfeld, who happens to
That's
be
the thing. I hadn't seen her character, I think, at that point in time.
Yeah, who happens to be Valentina or whatever, right from the thing, and so I'm telling my uncle this, and my uncle's like, he's got like, what the hell are you doing? He's like, did we both watch the same movie? And I was like, yeah. So I bought it on Disney Plus, so I just fast forwarded to the end credit, and my uncle's like, freaking Tony, he told us you just got up and go.
Like,
even then, he hadn't seen like the Disney shows, so like he wouldn't have even known who that was or what happened.
So then he went and watched them. He like binged WandaVision and all of them.
Tony, what at the end of the first original multiverse trailer you say you saw? What happened at the end of it?
They show Strange Supreme.
Did you hear a voice talking?
No.
Okay. Well,
I saw that. I've officially seen the first trailer, so I know like
I don't know which one that one is. I saw it. I don't think I saw Strange Supreme. I think I heard there's one. I'm not gonna tell you what it is. There's just somebody talking, and I'm like, oh fuck.
I know like the main one because I saw it trending on Twitter.
Which one is it?
Professor X.
Yeah, there you
Yeah.
go. His voice, dude. Patrick Stewart coming
Yeah.
back. It's amazing.
So
X-Men are coming into the
But you
Marvel
gotta
universe.
kind of think that they were setting that up ever since WandaVision, right? Because that Quicksilver.
I mean, this whole stage or set 4, whatever it's called, phase 4 is like gonna be like we're getting Sony's like IP that they messed up and Fox's
Right.
IP that they messed up, and we're fixing it, and like we're
What
gonna
is
like
that?
do everything
Fantastic
that we
You
can.
Four,
don't think
X-Men?
you don't think Marvel's gonna become like they're gonna fly too close to the sun though?
No. Well, yeah,
Nah, I
yeah.
think with Feige at the head, like at the helm, like these guys, they've been doing this for like 10, 15 years now, and like they've been doing it well.
Yeah, I mean, look at that last Spider-Man movie. My goodness, that was amazing.
I still haven't seen it, so spoilers.
Oh my gosh. Well, you know,
Mhm.
guess who's in it? Ruined it for you, buddy.
The internet ruined it for me already.
But you got to watch it. It's really good. It really.
I'm waiting for Disney Plus.
I don't know. It'll probably be another month, maybe 2.
For
I don't know.
multiverse,
No, for Disney, for Spider-Man No Way Home. I haven't seen it yet.
I don't think
It's
it's
not
supposed to
making
come out
money,
to
though.
like. I don't even like because Disney themselves they don't have like the streaming rights for
I know that
even
they don't
Spider-Man for a while.
Yeah, they don't have Spider-Mans.
Like the 2 Spider-Mans are coming to like Netflix or something before they even come to Disney Plus.
Really? Oh
Yeah.
wow.
So there's a whole like
Yeah,
I don't know.
neither Spider-Man's the what's his face, the kid,
Andrew
or
Tom
Garfield and
Holland
Tobey
or
Maguire.
Tom
Andrew
Holland
or
or on.
Toby. None of them are on Disney.
I mean, they have the Ultimate Spider-Man. They got Spider-Man 1994.
Yeah, they have like the animated stuff, the
I
shows.
think the one that I'm also excited for is that Morbius.
From what I've heard, especially after like the latest Spider-Man, like they had to go and do like reshoots, and they kind of like they've done like so many reshoots and edits for it that like it's kind of like a different
It
movie
might
at this point in
suck.
time. Nah,
Did you hear? Did
it
you
might
hear
be too
that
much
Doctor
like
Strange? I don't think it'll ruin anything for you, Tony. But did you hear that after Spider-Man: No Way Home, they went and actually reshot a bunch of Doctor Strange?
yeah that they want to get even more fun with the cameos and stuff. So, but
That's cool.
apparently
I like
I
that.
saw that it was even like before like Spider-Man that they had a bunch of reshoots, not for that reason, but because like the story itself was kind of like hard to like navigate and keep track of. So I mean, I think
That's
like the
what I'm
script
worried
itself
about. Because
is.
like, if they go like Inception level confusing on all this crap, like I still don't get Inception.
Alex, have you ever read like
I think they will because
comics?
it.
The what? The comics? No.
Because like the Spider-Man comic, especially with Miles Morales movie, what is that? Into the Spider-Verse.
Spider-Verse.
In the comics, you have literally 25 Spider-Man all working together, fighting Morbius. So it's like that's gonna come soon to the big screen. How are you gonna tell that story? Isn't it gonna be? Aren't you like?
I don't know. I say we just make the Super Smash Brothers movie. I think we go back on that
I mean,
one.
we're phase 1 in that. We got 2 movies right now.
Aren't they making a Mario Luigi?
Yeah, that's the
I
third one.
heard they
Yeah,
were.
that one. Yeah. That's
We
why
just
I was like
needed one.
after that announcement came out, everyone's like, yeah, we're getting
All
our
I
Super
tell
Smash
you is,
Brothers universe.
I am willing to break my haven't been to the theater thing since COVID started if they come out with the Kirby movie.
That's gonna be the
Kirby.
stupidest thing I've ever seen in my life.
I don't know about Kirby.
It's got to be completely animated.
That's because this guy
No.
only up Bs or down Bs as Kirby. And
Hey man,
that's
I
all
learned that
ever
he's got a
done.
hammer now.
Yeah,
So he's side B's.
he's a retro gamer. He's been doing the same moves since.
I'm
2000.
sorry that I grew up when there was only 2 buttons on the damn controller.
Jesus, Alex.
Didn't bother learning anymore.
You
This is
That was
all
need
I
steel
to.
need.
ceiling.
This is all I need.
Like it's cool because like I was watching Bella, she was playing Roblox, and she's like when you have a controller, what pro gamers do, they claw. So
Yeah.
like they have like instead of using like this for their trigger, like they have it and they'll like
Yeah.
move it up and down. And so Bella's doing that on her phone to play like Fortnite and to play Roblox. So it's like she is already like doing like kind of like advanced like mechanics that like I don't even like doing claw. Like I bought controllers with paddles on the back so I wouldn't have to claw.
I took off my paddles on the back, so I go back to claw.
Oh yeah.
There's a way to just. I didn't even know that holding the controller the normal way was called clawing.
No, yeah, you want to hold it kind of with your thumb on the thumb, or not your thumb, your on the thing, and these guys on top.
Like you're using your index finger for the joystick.
You're like this. It's weird.
Like
Yeah.
this. Like you're using it like this, so you
Why are
can
you
use
playing like that?
so
hit all
you
the
have
buttons.
more buttons, and you're not like moving.
It's
You're
faster.
using like maximizing your fingers to the controller.
This is why we'll beat you up on Halo if you play with us nowadays.
Yeah. You're using 2 buttons. We're using 5 at the same time.
you
We're at a
remind me.
different level,
Did this
Alex.
thing freeze up on me again?
Yeah.
Tony's
You remind me
MLG,
of
Halo Reach, okay, buddy?
That one killed him.
you guys remind me of. You guys know that Porsches when you try to turn on the
All
Porsche?
right.
Yeah, I
Mhm.
love
on
that
the
part.
left. So the user, I'm trying to think like at what moment in time would I be like turning on and sticking into first gear at the same time? But
Yeah,
then
like
I'm not.
we were already 60 when you're like turning on your car. Is like the analogy.
Yeah, dude, I'm already on the freeway. You're. We probably. I mean, Alex, Tony's a different level than me. He's higher than me. But when I play with people in my skill gap, I'm at least 20 kills above them. But when I play with
You know what?
Tony, he's 20 kills above me, and I feel like I can't hit anything. It's weird. You can feel the skill gap. And I know this on Junior, but if we play with Junior, it's just the funnest game in the world. You're walking all over these kids. It's fun. It's like Junior's playing with like 8-year-olds, and I'm playing with 16-year-olds, and Tony's in the big leagues. That's what's going on.
Yeah, I don't think Tony. When's the last time you and I played a game together?
Oh, my bachelor party.
I think I was gonna say,
2 years, 3 years ago?
Yeah,
No, 2
Yeah.
years ago. 1 year ago.
1 year ago. Yeah, 1 year and
yeah.
2 months.
Okay. Well, I learned how to do side B now, so bring it.
Oh,
I mean, I bought a whole like Nintendo GameCube controller for my Switch to play Smash Brothers. So, and like I learned how to remap the buttons on there to play like the best. And I was watching pros play. So,
so he knows what's up. Do
They
you
were
guys want to
playing
get together
Smash.
and play again?
nah, I'm good.
Why?
Because we're no
Kidding. Yeah,
talent.
we
dude.
got something going up.
Where do we take
I'll
our
be
money?
out there. I'll be out there for Junior's birthday, so maybe we should tell Junior to do something for his birthday.
Yeah. Well, yeah. Junior always invites us to his house. I don't know if we go. I try to go, but
Yeah.
whenever you guys want.
All right.
Let's
Well,
set something
we
up.
gotta call us or otherwise we're gonna go for another hour.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you everybody for tuning in. We'll be back next week.
What the heck was that?
I don't know. Make sure you subscribe. Make sure you hit the like button.
What is
Share this
this?
with your friends and family. If you saw anything that you related to, make sure you let us know in the comment section. We had a blast. See you guys.